Wood Floor Refinishing Atlanta. More specifically, this was a wood floor in Inman Park. Inman Park has got a lot of beautiful homes, and it's still in a state of transition with some that have been renovated right next to some that have not yet been renovated. This particular house had been pretty much renovated, except that the wood floors had never been refinished. It looked like they had never been refinished in the entire time since the house had been built, and this house had been built about 90 years ago. And what you can see is in the entry, you can see that you have pine floor, and the pine floor had a lot of gaps between all of the boards, but the gaps were basically part of the character of the floor, you could say. It's just the way the floor was laid, and it really needed to stay that way, because if you try to fill all the gaps in a floor like that, then what you'll have is a lot more problems in the long run, because the filler will crack, because wood being a natural organic material, it expands and contracts, and so it will eventually crack out that filler and be more of a mess. So the floor looks vintage, I guess you could say. It looks vintage, and the front hall that ran all the way down the length of the house was all pine. And as you can see from these before pictures, and also the process in between pictures, the floor was very worn and had a lot of things that need to be fixed on it. But you can also see that we did our magic, our worn wood magic, and in the after picture that we restained and restored the color, even though it was extremely worn right through the middle and not hardly worn at all right on the edges, which is nothing unusual about that at all. We were able to match the color between the worn areas and the not worn areas. And there you go. This is the other end of the hall, which was leading into the backyard, and it was not in as dire of a shape, and it was also slightly different color, so we had to create a different color to blend in with that too. But as you can see, it looked really beautiful when we got done. This is a process picture here. Not anything that you ever want to try at home, believe me. This is something we've been doing for over 25 years, so we know what we're doing. But you folks at home, don't be putting a bunch of liquid of any form on your floor in the kind of volume that we do in our process. So there's the beautiful floor. This is a picture of one of the bedrooms. The bedrooms were oak floor, and the oak in these older homes is really incredible wood. When we do wood floor refinishing in Atlanta, and in these older homes, such as refinishing there in Inman Park, you see oak that is just of an incredible quality. You can't get it anymore. You can just see it right in the grain. But in this picture, you can see that there was just all kinds of dirt, grease, grit, whatever, all just ground down into the wood. So it had this color that just wasn't right. I knew that when we started working on it that we would lighten it considerably, and then we would have to stain it back. So there's your beautiful after pictures, and that's just with one coat. And this is the living room, which was also oak floor, and it had its own wear problems and so on. There's the fireplace to the right, and this is the picture of it after it's been stripped. So as you can see, it looks more dry and bare and everything like that, which is what it always looks like when it's in this stripped stage of the worn wood magic process. And then here it is after. So that's one of the great things about the worn wood magic process, is that what we do is we start with something that needs a lot of help, and then we take it down, get all the dirt, grease, grit, whatever may be in the floor, and then build it back up again. And when it's built back up again, then you can see the beauty of the floor once again. Now the kitchen was pine, and it was the worst shape of any room in the house. This is not unusual, and it's because the kitchen has very concentrated wear areas between the islands and the right in front of the sink and the refrigerator and the dishwasher and so on like that. The kitchen had water stains that wouldn't come out. The only way you could have gotten them out would be to replace the wood, and really this age of home you're going to expect imperfections, and we just dealt with it and made it blend in and made it look nice. And this is a picture of another part of the same kitchen there, and you can see some of the problems there. And there it is, stripped down, and it was so worn that when it was stripped, areas looked almost white. You see, pine is really open grain wood, and so when stuff gets down into pine, it gets way down into the grain, and so when we strip all of that stuff out, then it's going to look like this. It's going to look very dry and splotchy, and so that's part of the process. This is the way it's supposed to look at this point. And here it is after. You can see that we've made everything blend in, and the color's nice, and the grain is filled in, and it's just a beautiful floor. This is another pine floor right in the same home, and as you can see, this is an after, and there's only one coat in this picture, but you can see instead of something that looked all grungy, now you have something that looks beautiful. This is the stripped stage with the oak floor here, and that's the same room. And this is the after picture, and it's later in the day. It looks like the floor is a completely different color, and it's just the lighting. The light was not good in that room, but when it got to be later in the day, a whole lot of light came into the room, and so the combination between what we did and also the fact that the lighting was a lot different, it makes it look like it's a completely different color in this picture. It's not. We don't change the basic color of the floor, but as you see, we do make it beautiful. And so that's before, and that's during the process, and there you have it.